The topic here is finding real solutions to a polynomial equation. So let's do the first example. We try to solve x to the fourth plus 2x cubed is equal to 4x squared. So first thing we do is subtract 4x squared. So x4 plus 2x cubed minus 4x squared, that would be equal to 0. Now if you notice, there's an x squared in every term, so we can factor x squared. If you factor x squared, this is going to be equal x squared plus 2x minus 4 is equal 0. Now this tells us that the first factor is 0 or the second factor is 0. Now a number squared is 0 means x is 0. And now for the second equation, we can use quadratic formula. Quadratic formula says x is equal to minus b, which is minus 2, minus plus square root. B squared is 2 squared minus 4 times a happens to be 1, times c, negative 4, divided by 2a, which is 2 times 1. Now x is equal to minus 2 minus plus square root 4 minus 16 is 4 plus 16, so it's square root of 18 over 2. Of course x is equal to 0, or we can simplify this probably, yeah, that would be minus plus c square root of 18 is the same thing as square root of 9 times square root of 2, which is 3 square root of 2. So this is going to be 3 square root of 2 over 2. So that would be equal minus 2 over 2 minus plus 3 square root of 2 over 2. So it's a negative 1 minus plus 3 square root of 2 over 2. You can even rationalize this one, square root of 2. Yeah, I'll just leave it that way, it's fine. So 3 square root of 2 over 2. Now for the second example, see, second example is not like the first example. We don't have x squared here, so we have just a number. In this case, every time you have a 4 as the first degree, and then as the degree for the first term, and the degree for the second term is 2, and then a number, the easiest way will be let x squared equal some number. Let's call it a y. Now the equation becomes y, x4 means y squared, right, plus 5, x squared is y, so we write y, plus 6 is 0, right? The reason why, see, x squared is equal to y. We let x squared to be equal to y. So if you square both, you get y squared is equal x squared squared is 4. So this is why, let me write it here. Therefore, y squared is x to the 4th. So we replace x to the 4th by y squared. We replace 5x squared by 5y. We replace 6 by just 6. Now this is pretty easy. You can even factor this one, or you can use quadratic formula. I think we can even factor it. No, you have to use, no, yeah, you can factor it. It's 2 and 3. So this will be y plus 3, y plus 2 is 0, which means y plus 3 is 0, or y plus 2 is 0, which means y is equal to negative 3, or y is equal negative 2. Now this means y happens to be x squared, so this means x squared is equal to negative 3, or x squared is equal to negative 2. So we're trying to find only real solutions, and this is have only complex solutions, no real solution. So this will be no real solutions. Right? If you square a number and you get a negative number, that cannot be a real solution. And then same thing here, x squared is equal to negative 2, that means no real solutions. Yeah, if we're using complex numbers, then we can use imaginary number. That would be different story. This will be the answer. With this will be x equal minus plus 3i, square root of 3i, and then for that one it would be minus or plus square root of 2i. But for this example, in other words, there is no solutions, period. And that's it for this example.